Hey there, Agile Adventurer. Just a quick question. What if, for the price of a fancy coffee or half a pizza, you could unlock over 700 hours of the best Agile content on the planet? That's audio, video, e-courses, books, presentations, all that you can think of. But you can also join live calls with world-class practitioners and hang out in a flame war-free and AI slop-clean Slack with the sharpest minds in the game. Oh, and yes, you get direct access to me, Vasco, your Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. No, this is not a drill. It's the Scrum Master Toolbox membership. And it's your unfair advantage in the Agile world. So if you want to know more, go check out scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. That's scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. And check out all the goodies we have for you. Do it now. But if you're not doing it now, let's listen to the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Team Tuesday. This week we have with us Cristina Cranga. Hey, Cristina. Welcome back.
Hello. Thank you. Nice being here.
Tuesday is Team Tuesday on the podcast. But before we dive into the team story, share with us, what's the book that most inspired you in your career as a Scrum Master?
All right. It was a hard choice, I must confess. But actually, it's a collection of books that I have. 3 or 4 are always on my working desk because it reminds me my purpose as a facilitator. But I had one choice. So here we are. Probably has been already nominated by your previous guests, but I'm going to go with the Fearless Organizations, and it's Amy C. Edmondson. I like this book very much. Why? Because it explains what Scrum Masters actually see every day, but struggle to name. In a nutshell, they are asked to facilitate conversation, improve collaboration between team members or other stakeholders, address silence, disagreements. Sometimes, they are even asked to create a safe environment, a safe space, especially in the retrospectives. But they are rarely given what I call mental model for why teams don't speak up or how to influence that without forcing kind of behavior on them. And this book actually gives you, as I mentioned, a structure, a model. It can be adapted, improved. It's just the guideline, sort of speaking, but it's a very helpful one. So why I love this book and Amy Edmondson, I admire her very much is because first it explained why, and she used this term, nice teams still fail. This is the first reason that I love that. And the second is because, as I mentioned, it gives you language for what I call difficult conversation. I don't like to call them conflicts. Conflicts has a negative flavor, but difficult conversations. Third, I think it's referred to the Scrum Master role because it repositions the Scrum Master role, and I'm going to give some insights on that. 4 is because it explains why process doesn't fix everything.
What do you mean by process?
Process, like, I don't know. I mean, like you have ceremonies, you have the rules, you have the structure, and then these are the inputs that you have, but this doesn't fix everything. So you might have the structures. I mean, I mentioned, but you don't have the human touch, kind of. And it helps Scrum Master to measure what really matters in a team. So yes, what I love most about, as I mentioned, she started with why nice teams fail. So when you refer to a nice team, I have this picture in mind. Vasco, probably you have it as well, or our listener have it as well, because what I imagine as a nice team is they are polite, they are great colleagues, they avoid conflict or difficult conversation, they seem aligned, they seem sync, okay, but somehow outcomes don't improve the outcomes. So the hard truth behind this behavior is the awareness that is liberating for the Scrum Master, and it reframes what you call it in the first time with during our discussion, which is the failure. So the hard truth is that silence not always is basically an alignment, and politeness doesn't mean trust.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
We just had a guest last week sharing a story of a team that failed exactly because of that. So I invite everybody to go back and listen last week's episode, Tuesday episode, because there's a real life story of what you just described, Cristina, happening in real life and turning into the team. Rather, Cristina, share that story with us. We want to know a story of a team, a little bit about that context, and what were the behaviors that maybe started as small things, but eventually grew and became a problem for the team.
Yeah, as a Scrum Master, kind of, you kind of, feel something is off or wrong, but you can just put the finger on it. It started with the feel of something is not right. So that's an example where actually what you can do is to pause. As a Scrum Master, is what I've done: pause, think, reflect, and try to have a kind of an intervention plan. And what I did in that specific situation is what I thought that it was the right thing to do is starting a conversation, an honest conversation. You have a lot of conversation in our working environment, but you don't have honest conversations. Most of the time, you have your self at work, and you have your professional self at work, and it's a mix of two of them. And sometimes you need to have honest conversation with your team members. So I start to have one-to-one conversation with them. And I discovered that not the performance was the problem, or the process, as I mentioned, but something deeper than that. Their expectations not aligned with what was the reality, or the frustration of a matrix system that is not offering, the safe culture, company culture, and so on. So, it's important to listen. Not always you have the solution. Sometimes you have, three layers: the layer of control, the layers of influence, and the layer of no control. But it's important, to be there for them and listen to them. Sometimes you can change people only by listening them, not giving advice. Actually, there is another interesting term. Don't become an advice monster. People don't need an advice monster. They need someone, to just
why is
listen
that term?
to them.
Why is that term?
So what is a advice monster? It's someone that it gives you, you should do that. That's the example of a monster. You should do that. It's a must, to do something like that, or things like that. So people that sometimes they don't need advice, they need to be heard. They need to voice, their feelings, their fears, their expectations.
Do you have some tips for us as Scrum Masters to enter a conversation with that? I was going to say ability, but maybe ability is too much at the start. But with that perspective, so that we are reminding ourselves and kind of staying true to the intention of listening better?
I think we need to be self-aware of our vulnerability as humans, and just to be compassionate with each other. Sometimes you might have, you are full of energy and you are at, 80% of your mental health and energy. Sometimes you are 10%, of your energy and mental health. And you bring this version, with you at work. And sometimes you just need to listen to people, observe them a lot. As a Scrum Master, you need probably to show up this, this observation skill as well. Not just listening, but observation as well. So just be there for them, as I mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Be present, right? Like listen without the intention of replying, but just the intention of understanding.
Yeah, presence thing. I think it's a very used term in mindfulness as well.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the key aspects that they are trying to develop, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for sharing that story, Cristina, and also your perspective on that difficult role that it is to be the listener.
Thank you.
All right, I hope you liked this episode. But before you hit next episode, here's the deal. This podcast is powered by people like you, the members who wanted more than just inspiration. They wanted real tools and real connection to people who are practicing Agile every day. We're talking access to over 700 hours of Agile Gold, CTO level strategy talks, summit keynotes, live workshops, e-courses, deep dive interviews, books, and if you're into no estimates, we got the pioneers of no estimates in those deep dive interviews as well. Agile business intelligence, creating product visions, coaching your product owner courses, you name it. You'll get invites to monthly live Q&As with Agile pioneers and practitioners, plus a private Slack community, which is free of all of that AI slop you see everywhere, and of course, without the flame wars. It's a community of practitioners that want to learn and thrive together. It's the best place to connect with community and learn together. So if this podcast has helped you before, imagine what you will get from this podcast membership. So head on over to scrummastertoolbox.org/membership and join the community that's shaping the future of Agile. And we have so much for you. So check out all the details at scrummastertoolbox.org/membership, because listening is great, it's important, but doing it together, that's next level. I'll see you in the community Slack. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.